Yes, good afternoon everybody and welcome to the BFL Footy Show for another week. Proudly supported by McDonald's Ballarat and also Ballarat Toyota. Shaun, thanks for joining us once again, mate, for another week.
No dramas, mate. Happy to be here once again.
Mate, big weekend of BFL action this weekend. Round 10, over the halfway mark. It's hard to believe, isn't it?
We are indeed. It seems like, as we said recently, just yesterday, that the season launch started and we were kicking the season off, and now we're on the downhill slope.
Massive game, this one, Ballarat v Sunbury. I think Ballarat have found some really good form the last month or so. Sunbury had a disappointing loss last week to Lake Wendouree. A win they needed to have Sunbury last weekend. I think if they wanted to cement their top spot inside the top six, I reckon they need to on the way home. They need to try and win a couple of these games, beat sides above them. I reckon they're real chances that day.
Look, I reckon they are as well. A couple of key outs for Ballarat this week. Ash Baker's not playing and Will McGregor's not playing as well, which is, Ash Baker is playing, Adam Sewell's not playing, I should say. So Adam Sewell and Will McGregor out of that side makes a big difference. And look, Sunbury are a chance. They're probably still stinging from the loss against Lakers last week. They came home like freight trains, just couldn't quite get there at the end. They know they need a big scalp because obviously the teams below them on the ladder are starting to get some form. Excuse me. Darley, Melton, underneath them, Bacchus Marshall looking to hit back pretty hard. They've got the Lakers in the same area as well. Yep. Just got that feeling that Ballarat are pretty well settled at the moment and pretty well drilled, and it's going to be a tough ask for Sunbury on. They didn't like the heavy conditions last week at the Lakers. Probably not going to be too much better at Alfred this week.
I think Ballarat would be fairly comfortable sitting around that third position. We know that if you finish third and you beat sixth the first week, you put yourself into a second semi-final. At the moment, it looks like Ballarat will finish third. The standing out two sides are obviously North City and Redan, so Ballarat are just sort of going along a little bit unnoticed at the moment, and I don't think that would be too much of a concern to them.
I think that's going to change, given some news on the clearance front. Obviously, the clearance deadline this Monday, and Ballarat looks set to land a pretty big one towards the end of the clearance, with Miles Sewell set to join brother Adam at the Swans for the back end of the season.
That's huge. Look, we know that Miles is very much a decorated player at the VFL level. He's been overseas the last little while, so it's a massive news, Shaun. I think the match of the round is going to come down at Darley Park on the weekend. Darley played Lake Wendouree. Two sides that are in similar sort of positions. Darley have obviously started the season very slowly, but I think they'll play their best footy in the second half of the year. And we know that Lake Wendouree have started the season pretty well. Both sides will be hoping to play finals, so a massive game. Yeah,
it's a huge game, obviously. Darley snuck into the six for the first time last season on the weekend. Lakers got that win to keep themselves just that little bit ahead of the pack, so another really, really crucial game for both teams. Interesting to see Darley's reserve side this week. A couple of key names back coming through the twos for Darley. Brad Inglis and Dane Grenfell coming back through the twos this week. So Darley, I reckon they're going to hit form at the right time of the season. If they end up in sixth spot, I wouldn't want to finish third.
No, I
can tell you that right now, because all that advantage about finish third can disappear in an instant. If sixth beats you, it's Mad Monday. All the advantage just disappears.
Lake Wendouree, I think it was a really mature win last week. It just shows that they've come a long way in the last 12 to 18 months, beating we know that Sunbury have obviously lost a lot of players, but they were challenged throughout that game and still managed to hold on and win, which was great for such a young group.
Sunbury is still a very good side as well, so it's well done to Lakers. And look, they welcome back a couple this week. The Party Boy's back in this week from all reports.
Yeah, he's recovered from his shoulder injury, which is good. So look, he's been in pretty good form this season.
Oh, he has. He told me shoulder injury was because he was carrying the team.
Yeah. So he's the boys would be pleased to have Pino back in the lineup this week. Melton South play Sebastopol. This game's at the Melton Rec Reserve. You think Melton's going to be too strong? Sebastopol have shown glimpses the last few weeks or so that they can be obviously competitive in games. Can they challenge Melton South down there? I think they'll be in the game for quite some time, but Melton's going to be too strong in the end.
I'm pretty much agreeing with you on this one. It's a game where Sebastopol can really take some steps and win a couple of quarters here, but you'd think at home, obviously the smaller ground's going to help Sebastopol a little bit. It's going to make getting the flow down to Michael Powell a bit easier, and this could be a game where Powell kicks 6 or 7 or something like that. But Melton South play their home ground so well, they won't want to drop this one in front of their home crowd, and I can see Melton South going through.
East Point take on Melton. This game's at the Eastern Oval on Saturday. Look, Melton have been very, very impressive for me this year, Shaun. They've got a new coach on board in Brad Murphy, playing coach. His professionalism, both on and off the ground, has been outstanding. It's been a massive addition for Melton. East Point, they're in the same mould as Lake Wendouree and Darley and Sunbury and these sort of sides. They need to win some games over the coming weeks to really cement their spot inside the six. At the moment, they're just outside, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
So this is a massive game for them to win. I think they can win this game at home, but Melton can't be taken lightly at all with the way they've been playing. As I mentioned, Brad Murphy's in pretty good form, so I think East Point just...
Tough game to tip. I watched Melton last week, and you're dead right about Brad Murphy. I listened to him speak after the game, and what he said was fantastic. He knew all the right words to say. He didn't get over emotive when coaches can in a win like that at times, and I know other people in the Melton rooms did. Good morning to you, Steve Bartlett, as well, but he's a really good communicator with the guys, and he's a really good on-field leader as well. And blokes like Jake Gleeson and Matty Notman are really taking that up and working from him and getting a bit of a feed from him and letting their experience show on the field. I reckon they can win this game against East Point. This is almost a statement game for Melton. This is a time for them to come to Ballarat and say, we want to feature in the finals this year. We know we can beat teams around us. They did it against Bacchus Marsh last week. If they do it again this week, they're a big chance to climb into the top six, obviously, given the result of the Darley Lakers game as well. And they'll definitely start taking notice this week. People will of the Bloods if they can beat East Point.
Yeah, for sure, mate. Well said. Look, it's a massive weekend, mate. What are you up to this weekend? Heading on to any big ones?
Oh, I might just head around the grounds and have a look at a few, mate. How about yourself? What are you up to for this weekend and the next week?
Heading to Cairns tomorrow morning with the AFL Goldfields development team, mate, which is a great opportunity.
Just leaving your mates behind, mate. It's going to be 7 degrees in Ballarat tomorrow, and you're heading up to 27 in sunshine. 27, and I think Wardy mentioned last night an overnight low about 19 or 18. So it won't get to 19 or 18 combined over the weekend in Ballarat.
I'm looking forward to it, mate. It's a great opportunity for these kids from their obviously respective leagues. Kids from the Ballarat Junior Football League, the kids from the Central Highlands Football League, and also kids from the Maryborough District Football Netball League. So,
and also the Riddle District Football
League.
And
also Riddle as well. So great opportunity for these kids. Obviously, not only about football, but it's a life experience for them too. Going away with a group of kids. Some of them they obviously don't really know too well. So they'll bond with those kids throughout the trip and hopefully play some good football as well.
What's your role on the trip, mate?
I'm the team runner for the couple of games and also tour coordinator. So
tour coordinator?
Assisting where I can.
And the runner, really?
Tour, yeah.
So, you're serious?
Run the meshes out. Might have a different hat. I think the red hat for the junk time and a white hat for the first.
Bit of John Barnes style stuff there, mate.
That's exactly right.
You'd be the John Barnes style, letting every second word through as one that we can't say on air.
I'm looking forward to it, mate. So I think we head off tomorrow morning pretty early. So meeting at the airport tomorrow morning. So our first game's on Sunday against AFL combined AFL Cairns team. So. The boys will get up there and I suppose get acclimatised and get into the footy action pretty much straight away, which is good. Yeah,
it's a really great trip for the kids, really good experience, and I suppose just remember us blokes down here in Ballarat just still toiling and still trying to just plugging away, mate.
I'll be thinking of you, mate.
Very good. Before we go, Carlton Collingwood this week in the AFL. We've actually got a special for Carlton and Collingwood fans, courtesy of our friends at Authentic Autograph. Show us what you've got there, mate.
I've got the Pies one, mate?
Yep, the Collingwood print. I've got the Blues one there, so have a look at that. Both prints feature all premierships from the club and all the medals along the bottom. These normally run at $2.95 a throw, Brad. Get them on the AFL website or at the Authentic Autograph shop, $2.95 a throw.
As we know, Carlton have won 16 flags and the Pies have won 15, so...
The two most successful teams in AFL history, or at least they will be when Essendon gets wiped out in the next couple of weeks.
No chance any wiped out anyway, that's another matter, but very good prints, Shawnee, so...
$2.95 anywhere you can find them. Send me an email across the bottom right now. If you want one of these, we'll knock $95 off the price straight up. We'll do them for $200 for you. Get in before Tuesday next week. Send me an email at the bottom, Shaun at aflgoldfields.com.au. Anyone that wants them, Carlton Collingwood, $200 each for the prints. Fantastic limited edition prints, personally numbered as well. Out of 1,500, only 1,500 each club of the prints there. Let us know. Carlton and Collingwood, $200 each, normally $2.95. Get around it, Brades.
Should also mention, Shawnee, it obviously mentions has photos of all the premiership sides from these clubs, but also mentions all the Brownlow medalists, the Norm Smith medalists, the Coleman medalists, and also, for example, the Collingwood. It mentions the Copeland Trophy winners from the various years. So some pretty good stats on the history of the club as well.
Yep, and the John Nichols medalists and Norm Smith medalists from the Blues as well.
Shawnee, that's fantastic. So hopefully some people can see those and let you know if they're keen to purchase them. Mate, goal and Mark of the Year nominations, how are they coming along? Any big nominations so far? Who's hard to beat at this stage of the year?
Coming along, we've had a couple come through. Obviously, the East Point boys are always very proactive in sending them through. And Dylan Wright, formerly of East Point, has put in a nomination for the goal of the week that will be pretty hard to beat in coming weeks. We know that obviously Michael Powell got aerial in the first couple of rounds with a couple of marks that he took that are going to be very hard to top. But if you see any out and about, let us know. Send me an email. Again, the email address is on the screen, or head to www.aflgoldfields.tv and you'll see up on the top bar there's a highlight nomination form. Fill that out, send it into the folk at Red Onion, and we'll get your goal and mark of the year nomination up on the screen.
Very good, Shaunie. Thanks so much for joining us on the BFL Footy Show, mate, for another week.
It's a pleasure, mate.
You'll cope without me next week, mate. You'll get who's you get?
Might be able to. We might drag someone special in, I reckon.
Very good. Thanks so much for joining us on the BFL Footy Show for another week. As we know, the show is proudly supported by McDonald's Ballarat and also Ballarat Toyota. For now, it's goodbye, and hopefully you can all get along to a BFL game this weekend. Massive weekend ahead. Bye for now.